Sir, let's talk about the idea of community protection. We were hoping for that instead of herd immunity, which is 70 to 85% by the end of the year. Now we're looking at targets of 40%. But right now, even that 40% target seems to be threatened. What is going on here in terms of vaccine supply? Is the bottleneck really from the supply side issue or with the rollout issue?
Well, it's a matter of logistics. It is very difficult to actually forecast exact delivery dates of the vaccine because even the suppliers will just give you estimates of when it will be delivered. But because vaccine is in demand all over the world, you should actually expect some hiccups along the way. But generally speaking, I think the government's importations are arriving and arriving more or less on time. Plus, in addition, the private sector orders of vaccine have started to arrive. So on the private sector side, you will see now that, for example, Jollibee has even hired Araneta, not Araneta, but the Colosseum for so that they can actually implement vaccination of their employees because the vaccines that they have ordered for their employees have already arrived. So all in all, are we very happy about the way things are happening? No, it could improve, but it could be a lot worse as well. So what's happening is all right. Not perfect, but okay.
Okay. Sir, according to Bloomberg, with the current rate, which is 250,000 doses per day, that was before this supply issue, it would take 21 months before we actually achieve any sort of herd immunity here. With the private sector's participation now, you've already started with ICTSI, for example, rolling Moderna. How will this improve and speed up this 21-month time frame?
Well, 21 months is arithmetic. We that's an arithmetical calculation, and which may or may not be true. We are hoping for earlier completion of our vaccine program. But the thing is this, the vaccines are not going to be a complete solution to the COVID-19. I think we should consider another factor, which is we have to learn how to live safely with COVID-19. We have to learn how to open up our businesses so that our people can get back to work, so that they can earn money to buy food, medicine, etc., etc. So we should do this together. We should try as much as possible to get as many people vaccinated, but that is not the only way to do this. We, starting as soon as possible, should try to open up now because we have to learn how to live with COVID-19. We cannot stay indoors. We cannot not go outside. That's not what I think will help the Philippines the most. And this is not unique. What my comments are is I am now seeing this being thought of and implemented in at least two countries. One is Singapore. The other one is Australia. Australia, for example, they were very strict in terms of lockdowns. But now they realize that that's not going to solve their problem. They have to just learn how to live with COVID.
How can you determine, what is really a safe reopening of establishments?
I think it's not complicated. Safe is this: get vaccinated if you can, and observe the normal, safe distancing. Keep on the masks even if you are vaccinated. And as much as possible, continue to wash your hands and so on and so forth. Continue to do that because that is going to help. And it doesn't mean that we can be careless after we are vaccinated. Just have to continue to be careful. But most important, our attitude should be, hey, we have to learn how to live life with COVID-19 around.
Given that, and people have already been doing this for more than a year now, a year and a half, what should happen in terms of quarantine restrictions after July 15 in particular? How long can GCQ still be extended, at least in NCR, until businesses suffer too much?
I think that the sooner this is lifted, as I was mentioning to you, as long as the infection rates are within reason in particular areas, I think the government, IATF, should open up the economy without any restrictions, but still insist that everybody try to keep safe. So July 15 is fine. Hopefully, we will be selective at that date, because if, in fact, the infection is very serious, you don't want to open up that particular area. Selective opening, I think, will be the best alternative for us.
Sir, thoughts on presidential advisors for entrepreneurship's Joey Concepcion earlier floating an idea that maybe we could segregate some, the vaccinated from the unvaccinated in areas like elevators, offices, cinemas, gyms. Is this a viable option? Have you seen this in any other country? And would this cause, some issues in terms of discrimination, vaccine discrimination?
Well, yes, I think it will. I'm not sure how effective this can be implemented. There are people who will absolutely feel that this is discrimination, and I think we have to be careful. However, I laud a presidential advisor for trying to figure out ways and means on how we can open up safely. But this is something which has some social and maybe even political considerations, because this is segregation. Okay, non-vaccine, okay, dito ka. If you are vaccinated, dito ka. How can you tell? A lot of people fake the vaccine cards anyway. So we have to be careful on how to implement that.
Sir, when you look at the members of the chamber, are you seeing improvement in terms of vaccine hesitancy? That there's actually, when this private sector is involved in giving the vaccines to their own employees, that the people are much more willing to get the vaccine?
I think so, yes. That's definitely what we have observed. If it's a company sponsored, they know the vaccine. If their boss themselves get vaccinated, that serves as a very good incentive for the employees to say, okay, we are going to follow our boss. And of course, a lot of education has to be done. Employees have to be told, look, this is not a guarantee that you will never get sick, but this guarantees you will not get seriously ill and you will not die. So a lot of on that basis say, okay, yeah, we'll follow. So no need to convince them and force them.